Hey everybody, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about all of the rest of the settings that are below the pre-config area. So we'll be going through those one by one, just like in the last video. All right, this is our multi-view. All this is seeing the multi-view as an output. How do you want the hose that you plug up your multi-viewer to look, feel, and see? Do you want it to be 1080 at 60? Do you want it to be 4K? Do you want it to be something else? Do you not see your multi-view and you want to send a pattern? All of that is doable on this page. You even have the great button that you have on all of your inputs and outputs, which is blink LED, which as you can see down here, it makes the LED next to the plug flash for a moment. So if you're in your chair, you're having someone wire it for you, and you tell them plug it in the hole, and they go, which one? You click the blink LED button, and they go, oh, that one, and they plug it up. You do not arrange your multi-view here. Next is outputs. This is very similar to a lot of the other analog way ones. It's very similar to the multi-view we just saw. Output 1, click on it. All right, so I have an HDMI. Actually, it does not detect any plugs because I don't have any plugs plugged into any outputs. But the SDI is active and it is sending the signal. Blink LED. It blinks. It shows us where the actual physical plugs are. We can send a test pattern. We can adjust the signal. We can adjust the formatting. And we can even adjust brightnesses, contrast, colorimetry, gamma. Something that these have, as well as the Aquilons, you can upload LUTs. You can upload a LUT to an output that has a PowerPoint attached to it. I don't know. I don't get it. If you understand why that's there on an output, comments down below. Please educate me as to why that is there, because I got nothing. You can enter a label, top left. You can right arrow over and go to output 2, output 3. Notice output 3 has the fiber, and output 4 has fiber as well. So we're going to drop down one more and talk about inputs. Again, kind of standard fare for if you've used the Live Core or Live Premiere, or this does the same. It shows all your inputs. This is a Zenith 100, so we get lucky number 13 inputs. Exact same basic thing. We do have a couple extra things in here. I am going to go ahead and say yes, blink LED is right there in the same place it is on all the other ones. We have a nice capture here that will capture the input as it is now and show that into your image library, which we'll be able to see in a moment, and you can scroll through them all. Again, LUT resources. LUT resources on the inputs, I kind of understand more because a camera can be an input, and you might want to make a PTZ camera look a little bit more like a DSLR. I don't know, stuff. So we can go through all of our inputs. We can also, on this model down here, if we scroll over something, inputs, outputs, multi-view, and then we click on it, it directly takes us to that plug's settings area. So we just jump back to multi-view. We just jump back to inputs. I'm jumping, assuming I'm jumping, I'm kind of jumping around. You can, again, do adjustments for brightness, contrast, color, and sharpness. You can do your aspect ratio. So if you want to be squishy, actually it doesn't squish, it just crops. But if you know that all of your iMag, remember the format I used to always do? If you know that your cameras are only going to be that little crop, whoop, whoop, little whoopy, whoop on the top. There we go, postage stamp. That's almost a 1-to-1. Almost, because it shows you the resolution right there. And that's on the input line. So anywhere I place this, it's going to be that little stampy. I want to reset this though. Images. Remember I said we could capture things and it'll go to our library? Well, we're not there yet. I don't know why. But anyways, We did background images earlier. Well, now we can do foreground images. We click on it. This is our image library to the side. And so on screen 1, foreground, top row, background, bottom row. Fairly simple terminology. Foreground goes in front of your live screen. Background goes behind your live screen. Live screen is in the middle. Any live layers will be in the middle of your foreground and your background. So if we wanted to make screen 1 foreground, we just click on it and all of a sudden it is there. Background 2, same thing. You know it has done the thing when the green light appears next to it. Below that is our image library. Who would have known? Finally get to the image library. You can upload images. You can click this button. You can find images. This is when I went to Denver. Pictures, things. We can click on any of these. We can upload them, and they will either fill the next empty slot, or you can use a specific slot. The Aquilon we have at work. We have like a data. We have a recurring event every week, but there's a QR code that changes for that particular week. So all we do is we delete old slot number 9, and then we resave the new QR code into slot number 9. That's it. That's the 2 different reasons if you want to use specific slots. If you've already made master memories where you're using certain slots in your memories, that's why you would just replace it. All right, formats, custom formats. This is an interesting page. Again, this is LED walls type stuff. This is an explainer on the right of on how you do kind of the math and everything. I'm going to steal from, again, work and show you a custom one that I've done. If I can remember the numbers, 3240 by 2430. So this is actually going to be 1/2 of the LED wall where I work. So I'm going to type in a width and a height. I want it to be full. I think I want it to be full. And I want it to be refresh rate at 60. Let's go CVT. I can use the template or not. I can run it off an EDID or not. So let me check. Hey, that worked. Now I can save it. Hey, that worked. And you can make 16 of those. And its format is your output. Now, EDID, which is directly below it, I feel like I did not explain format that well. I feel like I just glossed over that because I just memorized numbers. EDID. At this point, we probably all know what EDIDs are. EDID is a handshake from a source device to an output device, and most likely this case, a computer or a camera. When you plug it up to the box, they shake hands. The source material, the laptop or the camera goes, hey, I prefer to be in 1080 at 60, and the box goes, I can handle 1080 at 60, let's do that. Shake hands and you're good. The point of this page is to essentially either make your own EDID. So if you are trying to do an ultra wide, you have a laptop where you can do a custom output and you're going to make it whatever ultra wides are. I can't think of the resolutions right now. And you want to make sure that handshake works. You can come in and you can make a custom EDID. I'm not going to lie, I've never actually made a custom EDID. I just come in and use the ones that are here. A lot of times with these, I want my camera to output 1080, not 4K, and it reads it at 4K. And so I have to tell it, no, this is the EDID I want you to use. If you ever plug up a computer, let's say it's at 4K. You change your EDID down to 1080, and now you get an error. Unplug the HDMI cable or display port, plug it back in. It needs to redo its handshake, because what has essentially happened is the handshake worked, and then you told the box, no, go look for something else. So it goes, okay, I'm going to look for something else. The moment you give me something new, I'll look for something else. So you have to break the handshake and reinsert it so it can find something new in this example. I haven't run into that a lot on this guy, but again, the Aquilon, that would drive me crazy. We have 4K for display ports. We have 4Ks for HDMI. And if you look closely, these are all at 60. The row below them are all at 50. We even have HDMI 1.4 versus HDMI 2.0, 60 hertz, 50 hertz, 120 hertz. So you have a couple of different options in here. LUT libraries, drop in the comments as to what these can be used for. I don't know. But this is where you upload them. Audio. We have 2 sub menus in audio. Custom and Dante. Dante, if you're used to Dante controller, will probably look familiar. If you set up a Dante network, you get to this page and you still see red X's, you plugged up something wrong. That's all I got. We will go into a deeper dive into this in its own video. This is just where it is. You can set custom channels. So actually that would be the next menu, which is custom. So let's go down. I think I'm okay. So these are all custom. So I want to put HDMI number 1, which has 2 channels, on my custom 1 and 2. So instead of grabbing the whole thing and moving it over, because it's going to try to move 8 channels, grab the individual channels and you can move them over. That gives you a custom. We'll do it on this one as well. We're going to go back to the very top and click and go on to the audio tab for a second. Here we go, Dante. Channels 1 to 8. Custom 1. So now my Dante channels 1 through 8 on my outputs are actually input 1 on the HDMI, input 5 on the HDMI, and input 8 on the HDMI. And so those should, on my audio board, when I do my Dante channels and I set things to faders, I can set those faders. Watch the video whenever I make it. It'll be great. It'll be wonderful. It'll be the best Dante video ever. Moving on. Timers. Oh, thank God, something simple. Okay, in this box, make almost slightly more sense than a LUT on an output. Okay, the reason I say that, you have 3 timers. You have 3 choices on each timer. Current time, a countdown, or stopwatch. You cannot not put any of these timers on any output. You can put it in your multi-view. You can see it, but nobody else sees it. Prove that I'm right and not smoking again. Let's reset this. Inputs, foreground images, screens, background images. That's it. There's no timer anywhere here that you can set. Do you want more? Images, foreground image. Yeah. You cannot set a timer to anything that actually goes anywhere on an output except the multi-view. And there's a tab that says timers, and you can put a timer there so that you know what time it is. I don't. It makes no sense to me. But those are timers. They're there. There's 3 of them. You have 3 choices on each. Streaming. Here is one of the things that I think makes this box cool. It has a built-in streamer encoder. You can custom RTMP out of the box, out of the back of this box. And they even give you presets for things like YouTube and Facebook Live and Restream and Twitch. Again, custom RTMPs. That's awesome. That's cool. Yay. I sound sarcastic, but I want to do that. I haven't done that yet. I want to. And you can tell it what audio you're going to send to the stream and, you know, what your all sorts of things are. Like, yay. Yeah, you can select multiple outputs. You can select you can stream your multi-view. You can stream just an input. That, I think, is cool. All right, I think I'm going to stop it there. You may or may not notice a continuity difference, especially with the last video and this video. I made one long video and for all of these settings, and I want to be in about 30 minutes long. So I wanted to cut that into 3 equal parts. So the last video, this video, and the next video you're going to see were all originally filmed at once to go through all of the settings. So today was just all of the additional settings below the pre-config area. Next week, we're going to be talking about all the different ways you can change and manipulate your outputs by changing a couple of settings. You can get or lose different layers and what all of those settings mean on how the box functions. So we'll see you then.